Well, noted lefty Clover Moore loved it, but many viewers have criticised the taxpayer-funded broadcaster for turning on what is usually a fun, family-friendly broadcast, turning it completely into a woke political statement. Joining me now is Sky News host Caroline Russo and media commentator Karalee Katsambanis. Great to have you both on the program, ladies. Happy New Year, and thank you for spending the first night of the year with me for part of it anyway. Karalee, I'll start with you. Did you watch that rubbish, or do you follow my advice? Friends don't let friends watch or listen to their ABC.
Look, I did watch a little bit of it, but I have to say, you know, the taxpayer-funded ABC, I mean, ordinary taxpayers, yet again, I mean, they evidently didn't get the message about The Voice this year. I mean, what people love this country, and yet they're being paid to put on this absolute rubbish, completely inappropriate. I read a lot of the comments on social media, on Twitter, and the pile-on that it was on, and it was deserved. However, I've got to say it's the worst ever coverage on the ABC. Gary, in 364 days' time, maybe we'll be talking about this year's coverage.
One never knows. Australia's Princess Mary is about to become the new Queen of Denmark after the shock abdication of Queen Margaret II. 52 years on the throne she was.
On the 14th of January 2024, 52 years after I took over from my beloved father, I will step down as Denmark's Queen. I hand over the throne to my son, Crown Prince Frederik.
I mean, quicker than you can say, get me to the exit row. I'm heading towards Denmark. Caroline Russo, you're Sky's Royal Report host. I mean, you'd have to have a view on this. This was completely unexpected, wasn't it?
Well, it was in a way, I suppose, but I guess you never know what's going on in someone's head. And look, good on her. Good on her for being able to call her own time. Like, I actually have a huge amount of respect for that. And given some of the allegations that have been going on recently, it's a very good way to, you know, square people into a position that they, you know, it might encourage them to behave themselves a little more.
Yeah, straighten them up. I mean, my prediction is he'll be Frederick X, you see. It'll get abbreviated to Fred X. You can see that, the Roman numeral. I'm sure you'll appreciate that. You're both intelligent women. Now, that'll be the headline. More than 100 researchers and academics have signed a letter warning against the use of gender-inclusive language in the medical industry, saying the terms used in the name of inclusion confuse health data, and that can lead to some serious medical errors. Now, Karalee, you'd have some pretty strong thoughts on all of this.
Look, I do, and I'm really glad that you've chosen this topic, Gary, because what I want to say is at the end of the day, do people want their lives saved or do they want their pronouns? I mean, men are not seahorses. They can't give birth. The alarm bells are ringing. You know, for researchers and academics to actually be putting this in black and white. Michael Batchelard wrote the article in The Age today, terrific article, and it actually shows the alarming thing. There are numerous examples. There was somebody whose medical record said that they were male, they had abdominal pain, they were actually a woman, and the baby died. And it's alarming because what it is, you're dealing with another industry. No one is denying that transgenderism does exist, but we're looking at a minority. We're trying to make it a majority, and at the end of the day, medical people want to actually save lives. There are a lot of people from non-English speaking backgrounds as well that, you know, aren't taught about inclusive language. But as I said, at the end of the day, do you want the pronouns or do you want your lives saved? I'm just sad that it's taken this long for academics and researchers to have the courage to actually come out and say what a lot of us know as common sense. I mean, there'll be people that will be missed with breast cancer. We know that men and women can get breast cancer, but, you know, it just raises alarm bells. But I also think that academics and researchers are in fear because they know that if anybody speaks out, at least on Sky News, we've got the opportunity to do so, there'll be protesters out the front saying, oh, you're against transgenderism. No, not at all. But at medical schools, there is so much room for error. So I'm glad that they've come out and said it.